You know why you never bend the knee to SJWs? This is why.
Hey, boys, look what I got here.
Hey, where are the white women at?
We keep trying to tell y'all in the entertainment industry while you're capitulating to bigoted, hateful ideologies, people who create division, people who send hate mobs, people who don't care about your properties, don't care about your companies. They have virtue signaling to do that don't get in bed with SJWs because this. This is a Bounding into Comics article by John F. Trent. Please go check out Bounding into Comics. They're good people over there. Also, check out the Bounding into Comics YouTube channel. This is an article entitled Gail Simone announces she's no longer working with Dynamite Comics. Who didn't see that come? Who didn't see any of all this shit? All of this unfolding. Who didn't see any of it? Oh, my Lord. You bent the knee. You bent the knee, Dynamite. Like, honestly, I wouldn't have really supported you anyway. I don't want to support current industry, but, I mean, how did you not see this coming? You knew who you get in bed with. You know that these people are ideologues. They are extremists, ideopolitical extremists. They do not think. They do not have a functional brain. They don't have critical thinking skills. They only see things in race and gender and sexual orientation and people of color. They're robots. They're NPCs. And you bent the knee. You bent the knee. Cecil would have generated so much money for you. The Comicsgate community, for the most part, would have generated so much money for you. It would have been a bridge between the industry and the crumbling industry and what is going to replace it. Independent creators, people that care about the customers, people who care about creating decent material, people who are passionate about their work. These are the people that are going to rise out of the ashes of the crumbling comics industry. And it's unfortunate for comic book retailers. It's unfortunate for the fandoms. It's unfortunate for customers. This has been an awful ideological war that was not created by Comicsgate. It was a response. Comicsgate is a response to the resurgence of racism and sexism that is industry approved and has spread its tentacles all throughout all these different entertainment properties. You deserve this, Dynamite. You deserve it. So, let's take a look at this article. Former Red Sonja writer Gail Simone announced she will no longer work with Dynamite Comics. Simone had previously been publicly pressured to make a statement by black writer Kwanzaa whatever earlier in July after Dynamite Comics promoted an Indiegogo campaign for a variant cover for Vengeance of Vampirella #1 titled Cecil's Big Cover by Donald DeLay. The fandom Menace is huge. It is a collective of individuals, and some fans of certain channels or personalities aren't fans of others. And some of the personalities in the fandom Menace are huge and have a big following, a very loyal following. One of those people was Anna, that Star Wars girl who did the cover for your Vampirella, and generated a lot of goodwill and interest in the Fandom Menace community, which then brought in, I would guess, I don't know the technicalities behind everything, but then opened the door for Cecil to come in and do this, which would have brought in an even larger swath of customers. But you shut that down. You bent the knee. You bent the knee to SJWs. And now they're leaving you anyway. SJWs do not support your business model. All right, they are extremists. Anything outside of their groupthink, their bubble, that is even touched by free thought or free expression is immediately ostracized, and that includes you, Dynamite. Simone had previously responded to Asa Ferrario. I don't like. You know what? If it ain't American, I can't pronounce it. My bad, yo. Writing, I will not be silent for career reasons. I'm not being silent at all. I'm taking a minute to process something very personal. Very personally. I'm taking a minute to process something personally very disappointing and sad. She added, if I'm not doing that on your timer, don't know what to say. Look, these people are brain dead. All right, you have to have a fully functional cerebellum in order to engage in a healthy way with other human beings. And when you're dealing with people who may not have been fully developed when they engaged with the rest of the human race, they tend to have problems with processing. It's obvious that she was weighing out her future, her viability, which is trash, right? Gail Simone, how many books does she sell? Really, how many books? How many books she sell in 2019? Like a few thousand? That's an industry leader? Now, Simone has come out with a much lengthier statement announcing she is no longer working with Dynamite Comics. And that has apparently ended her friendship with the company's founder, Nick Barucci. All right, I promised I would talk about Dynamite. This sucks. I'd rather not. It's extremely unpleasant and draining. I didn't post much earlier because the whole thing blows. She continued. A lot of people were angry at me for not jumping on this by their timeline. But I say again, sometimes it takes me a while to fully articulate my feelings. It just does. So what has happened is, just from this, and we're going to continue this on, just from the information that I have right now. So what happened is the SJWs, far leftists, they devour one another. They are always fighting in this oppression Olympics. Who's got the greater victimhood, and it's the same way with their cancel culture. If you don't call someone out fast enough, if you're not right there on the dime when something that is obscene to them, something outside of their bubble, is not. If you don't call that out in the proper amount of time, you're going to get canceled. She's a victim of her own narrative at this point, a victim of her own ideology. She, most likely, people were calling her out for not leaving Dynamite, and she had to choose which is more important, making money or virtue signaling. Someone then claims that she had previously considered Dynamite Entertainment founder, CEO, and publisher Nick Barucci a friend, but apparently that has changed. She then explained, this is a morass for me because I considered the guy running Dynamite to be not just a publisher, not just a friend, but damn near family. I don't have a lot of biological family, so having a guy you really trust, that you really like, it's like having a brother. If she must not have considered this dude a friend or family or like a brother, because you just walked away from your brother. You just stabbed your brother. How, dude, I would never consider being friends with this person. Because if cancel culture comes for you, she's gone. She's out. Do you really want to trust that kind of person in any position in your life? I believe a publisher can publish who they want. I believe in freelancers can make a choice what to do at that point. No, you don't. You can't. You send hate mobs, and you can't cancel culture at freelancers, independent creators all the time. It's the double talk. It's a personal choice, and I believe almost every publisher has made mistakes. Yeah, hiring SJWs, the wall of diversity. I know most freelancers have. I certainly have. Simone then expressed her disappointment over all of these alleged connections. It's unclear what connections she's referring to. She wrote, but finding out all of these alleged connections was very disappointing to me. I know this is just going to end up being mocked on all sides. The SJWs, they eat their own, boy. But when you have someone you care about, and this happens, I really just can't articulate how much it sucks. Despite indicating she's no longer friends with Barucci over the canceling of Cecil's big cover, Simone detailed how he offered to help her after her home was robbed. What the... There's two things going on, the public and the personal. The public thing is what it is. The personal is, this was a publisher I liked who, when my house was robbed, immediately wrote to offer to loan me money if I needed it. I didn't, but that was a stand-up behavior. And you turned your back on this dude? Gail Simone turned her back on this dude? Your friendships, your love ain't worth jack. Oh, not only did this dude completely get rid of a very viable financial arrangement with Cecil, but now you're turning your back on him because your SJW buddies are having an issue? Wow. She then hints that Dynamite might be on the verge of folding due to the canceling of Cecil's big cover on the social media campaign she was involved with in the first place that led to the canceling. Simone wrote, "Second, I want there to be a path out of this kind of shit. I want to believe that there's a way people can step up and make it back into the light. I don't want publishers to fold. That just makes everything worse. I don't know what that way is, but I want it to exist. You know how that exists? You leaving. Every damn far leftist ideologue, every hateful segregationist bigot out of the industry. For the industry itself to stop bending the knee to hate mobs organized by people like you. That's how the light comes back. You are the darkness. You and every one of your social justice ideologues. You are the darkness. You are destroying the industry." She would eventually announce that she was no longer working with Dynamite. I've read a bunch of people saying, oh, she doesn't want to endanger her paycheck, which, no. I am not working with Dynamite, and I am not going to forward with a charity book to benefit comic shops we talked about. So, screw the comic book shops. The ones who are really suffering because the industry keeps bending the knee to this cancel culture and these hate mobs. Just screw the comic book shops. Your friendship, Gail Simone's friendship is not worth jack. The integrity, not worth jack. What a tragedy. What a tragedy this is for the comic book shops. What a tragedy it is for the customer. Or other creators that, even though I may not agree with it, shacking up with the industry, even though I may have a stand against that, might have been an opportunity for other creators whom you have deemed a hate group, you and your cult. It's awful. She then writes that her not working with Dynamite is a big loss to the publisher. I worked at Dynamite because I liked the people, I loved the characters, I always had fun there. They have routinely asked for more work than I can do, but I don't need them, and they certainly don't need me. It sucks, but it's the truth. Nobody needs you. Nobody needs you. The lengthy thread continued with Simone writing, "For those of you who think I am being quiet for paychecks, you are mistaken. SJWs eat their own, boy! Since I have routinely commented on bigger companies that I was working for, I would think that would have been pretty obvious. No, it doesn't matter to them. You understand the cult that you're in. You must not understand the cult that you are a part of. You don't care. There's no limits. It's Oppression Olympics. There's no boundaries. There's no couth. You see, you have routinely shamed bigger companies. Guarantee that. You have shamed people into breaking contracts, into stopping work with others that you don't like because they don't think like you. Comicsgate needs its own historian. Straight up. Look, I'm putting one chapter in each book about Comicsgate because this stuff needs to be called out. It's very relevant. It needs to be documented. People down the road, 10, 20, 30 years from now, need to be able to read these books and understand what was going on and why there is no comic book industry anymore, or why it changed into what it is at that time. It is people like Gail Simone. It is people that have destroyed this industry, that have shamed employers into hiring them, into boosting them, into putting out crap comics that nobody freaking wants, nobody buys. SJWs do not support your business model. It's time to bring it back to the fans, y'all. Marvel, DC, Dynamite, all y'all out there listening right now. It's time to bring it back to the fans. Stop bending the knee to hate mobs, bigots, people that are trying to create division and hate, segregation on the regular that will shame you. Why? Are you trying to lose money? Why do you bend the knee to these people? Does not make sense. Comicsgate needs its own historian. Simone then claims that she has not talked to Barrucci, although she alleges he has called her several times. She elaborated, "I haven't spoken with Nick since all this went down. What a great friend. What a great a brother. Remember, she loves him like a brother. They didn't have a big family. That's her brother. First I was too upset, and later I really didn't know what I could say. I got to stab you in the back, man. Look, I'm sorry. These people are pressuring me. I got to toe the line. Pression Olympics, cancel culture. I got to run with them. So look, I'm sorry that I'm not really sorry because I had to do it. That I cut off your financial viability with an independent community that would have supported you fervently. But now I'm out. Oh, and by the way, F the comic book shops. That's what you say, Gail. Just be real. There's too many fake motherfuckers in the world right now. He's called several times and I put off answering just because even thinking about the whole situation is depressing and I don't have any answers. You got answers. You got answers. I just answered them for you. Then she goes on to talk about her disappointment with other people in comics like Warren Ellis. I have been disappointed by comics people before. This whole thing with Warren Ellis is just intensely awful. But again, this is someone I really cared about, and it just plain took the wind out of me. That's all. This woman is nobody's friend. She will turn on you in a dime. Simone then states that she does not want Dynamite to be canceled. Bullshit. As for what happens in the future, it's not for me to say. Oh, she's removing herself from responsibility. After creating a cancel culture hate mob, you're now removing yourself from the responsibility of something you helped to create. Wow, this is stunning and brave. I don't see any benefit to canceling a good publisher that employs a lot of good people and produces a lot of good books. I hope Dynamite comes out of this stronger and better. No, you just canceled him. Don't act like that. Man, I really don't like these people. Ooh, so fake. So fake. She then adds that Barrucci contacted her again, but she still has not spoken to him. Lastly, people made mistakes. They trust the wrong people. Nick did contact me today, but we still haven't spoken. But I do believe he's heard a lot of what people here have to say. I don't know any details beyond that. That's because your details are not details. Your details are propaganda. This was your brother. You ain't talking to him. Stabbed him in the back. Stabbed the comic book shops in the back. You're out. I feel like the story's still unfolding and being documented. Trust and believe. I know a lot of people want me to be angry, but mostly I just feel sad. Well, she's the victim, right? She's the victim. She created a hate mob to cancel Cecil, and then she has to ditch her brother, someone that she cares about, and then F the comic book shops. So she's the victim. She's the victim. Oppression Olympics. I'm an optimist by nature, and I hope for the best. You're an optimist. You create Twitter mobs, cancel culture. That's it. Have a good day, everyone. Yeah, don't believe that. She meant have a good day if you co-sign to my bull, everyone. Finally, she concluded the thread writing, actually, I will add one thing. If anyone was going to wash this stuff off their shoes. Wow. What an elitist piece of I would think Nick would be that guy. I mean in a good way. P.S. It was a blast to write Red Sonja and Swords of Sorrow, blah, 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 blah. No, I can't do with these SJWs, man. I'm inundated. I'm writing these books. This person is fake. This person is not someone you can trust. If she labels you a brother, watch out. Knives are coming. This person will cancel you in a heartbeat. This person will pressure you, shame your company. This article in and of itself, this one article in and of itself should explain that to you. These, her words, the circumstances surrounding all of this. Now, when it comes to the simple isolation of this case, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. This is why you don't hire SJWs. But the industry ain't learned that. They want to crumble. They want to die. I don't get why they want to die, but that's what they want to do. Same thing with CBS All Access Star Trek right now. They just want to die. Like they're just out loud and proud about it. Like they're doing something wonderful, destroying Star Trek. It's batshit lunacy. Batshit lunacy. Look, Dynamite. I kept my mouth shut when someone I respect in the community. I even retweeted you. I even supported it. I did video ads because someone I respected in the community was working with you. I did that. When that was done, then it was done. And when Cecil signed up, I was like, okay, I can't be a hypocrite now because I've been backing this other person, supporting this other person. I can't be a hypocrite now. I'm not going to call out Cecil because I like Cecil. After his cancellation, that was it. That was the icing on the cake. I'm done. I'm just going to call it what it is. The reason that Comicsgate exists, guys, is because the industry hires people like Gail Simone. They support people like Gail Simone to their own detriment. They support this type of ideology, this destructive behavior. It is cancel culture that creates division and hate and bigotry like they're doing something wonderful, and they're delusional, and they're all victims, and they will stab you in a heartbeat. And this is why the indie sphere exists. This is why Comicsgate exists, in my opinion. And that's where it should stay. That's where I think y'all should stay in Comicsgate. Out the industry. Let them fold. And then that's how I feel. You may feel different. You have the right to your own opinion, but that's where I'm sitting with this. I am author Stephen Walton, the Fandom Menace historian, your historian, born in the chats of the High Council with my brothers and sisters fighting for our modern mythologies. Wash your hands, wash your ass, be good to each other. Peace. Hail my brothers and sisters in the chat. Hail the Fandom Menace. It is the Fandom Menace historian, your Fandom Menace historian, born in the chats with my brothers and sisters, letting you know that the Fandom Menace Volume 1, A Fandom Betrayed, is back in demand. You can pick up this first edition book on Indiegogo for a limited time. Here's a comment from someone well respected in our community, Shellback, commenting on the importance of the Fandom Menace Volume 1.
Get on Indiegogo and order a copy of that damn book, or you're an effing retard. Okay, that's yeah.
Pick up your copy today.